Nifty is up 300 points. Financial media is celebrating. Telegram channels are screaming. But here's the shocking question. What if I told you that the rally wasn't caused by buyers at all? What if the market went up because sellers were scared? And what if a single data point could tell you the difference? That data point is called open interest. And once you understand it, you'll never look at futures and options the same way again. Whenever traders enter the futures and options market, they usually focus on two things, price and volume. But professional traders look at a third metric that most beginners completely ignore, open interest. Because price tells you what happened, volume tells you how much activity happened. But open interest tells you something far more important. It tells you whether fresh money is entering the market or existing money is leaving. In today's video, we'll understand what open interest actually is, how it is created, why it rises and falls, the difference between open interest and volume, the 4 most important OI combinations every trader must know. The simplest example possible. Imagine there are only 2 traders in the world, Trader A and Trader B. Trader A believes Nifty will rise, so he buys one Nifty futures contract. Trader B believes Nifty will fall, so he sells one Nifty futures contract. Now something interesting happens. A brand new contract has been created. That means open interest becomes 1. Notice carefully. There are 2 people involved, one buyer, one seller, but open interest is not 2. Open interest is only 1. Why? Because open interest counts contracts, not traders. Whenever a new buyer and a new seller create a new contract, open interest increases. Those 2 new traders enter the market. Trader C buys, Trader D sells. A completely new contract is created between them. As a result, the total number of active contracts increases from 1 to 2, and therefore, open interest rises to 2. Simple. More active contracts, higher open interest. Now let's see the opposite situation. Suppose Trader A and Trader B decide to close their positions. The contract between them ceases to exist. One active contract is removed from the market and open interest falls. So whenever existing contracts are closed, open interest decreases. But now imagine a different scenario. Trader A, who is currently holding a long position, decides to exit. Trader C takes over that position. In this case, the contract itself still exists. Only the ownership of the position has changed. No new contract has been created and no existing contract has been removed. Therefore, open interest remains unchanged. Now let's take another example. Trader A exits his long position. This time, Trader E enters the market for the first time and takes over that position. Even here, open interest remains unchanged. Why? Because the contract already existed. It has simply been transferred from one trader to another. No new contract has been created and no existing contract has been closed. So once again, open interest stays the same. This gives us a very important insight. Open interest is not a measure of how much money is entering or leaving the market. Instead, it measures the number of outstanding contracts that are still active. When new contracts are created, open interest rises. When existing contracts are closed, open interest falls. And when positions are simply transferred from one trader to another, open interest remains unchanged. Think of open interest as a measure of participation. The more active contracts that exist in the market, the higher the open interest. Again, I repeat, and also please mark my word. Whenever a new buyer and a new seller create a new contract, open interest increases. There must be new buyer as well as new seller. Both seller and buyer must be new, then only it impact open interest. This concept will help you to understand open interest in better way in the end. Now many beginners confuse the open interest with volume, but they are completely different. Volume tells us how many contracts traded today. Open interest tells us how many contracts remain active. Let me explain using a hotel analogy. Imagine a hotel has 500 occupied rooms. Suppose throughout the day, 400 guests check in and 400 guests check out. That's 800 activities. Huge activity. But occupied rooms remain 500. Similarly, volume can be very high, but open interest may remain unchanged. That's why traders should never use volume and open interest interchangeably. This is where open interest becomes powerful. Because open interest alone means nothing. You must compare it with price. There are 4 combinations every trader should memorize. Suppose Nifty rises from 25,000 to 25,300 At the same time, open interest also increases. This means fresh traders are entering and creating new long positions. This is called long build-up. Fresh money is supporting the rally. So we can also say it's a bullish signal.
Now let's try to explain combination number 1, where the price and the open interest both are moving up in upward direction. For example, Nifty is currently sitting at 25,000 level. Now slowly and steadily, Nifty start moving upward and reaches 25,300 level. Now, along with the price movement, we also observe that open interest, which was 2,50,000 yesterday, has now increased to 3,50,000. This means that there has been increase of 1 lakh in open interest in one particular day. What does this increase in open interest mean? Now, the first thing to understand is this: open interest increases only when a fresh buyer and a fresh seller together create a new contract. I repeat, open interest increases only when a fresh buyer and a fresh seller together create a new contract. For every new position in the market, both buyer and seller are required. So, when open interest increases by 1 lakh, it simply means that 1 lakh new buyer and 1 lakh new seller have freshly entered the market together. Fresh buyer enter the market with the hope that market will move upward, whereas fresh seller enter the market with the hope that the market goes down. Now, a very natural doubt arises: if both buyer and fresh seller are entering the market in equal number, then how anyone can say that market will move upward? The answer lies not in number of buyer and seller. The real answer lies at which level these new participants are placing their position. Now think in this way: when the market was at 25,000, some buyer and seller entered and placed their position at that level. As the market moved to 25,100, fresh participants come in and place their position at 25,100. Further, as the market moved to 25,200 and 25,300, more fresh participants kept entering and placed their bets at these higher levels. This is the key observation. Every fresh participant who is entering the market is choosing to place their position at higher level than before. This clearly tells us that their sentiment is positive. They are entering the market with a belief and confidence that market will go even higher from here. And this combination of price and open interest both moving upward is called as long build-up position or bullish market.
Now imagine Nifty falls, but open interest rises. What does that mean? New traders are aggressively creating short positions. Every fresh participant entering the market is choosing to place their position at a lower level than before. This clearly tells us that the sentiment is negative and bearish. These participants are entering the market with a strong belief that the market will go even further down from here. This is called short build-up. It means fresh money is entering on the bearish side. So we can say it's strong bearish signal. This is where most beginners get confused. And this is one of the most important concepts in derivatives trading. Suppose Nifty is rising, but open interest is falling. Many people immediately think buyers are entering, but it's not true. Now imagine thousands of traders were short on Nifty. Suddenly positive news arrives. Those traders panic. They rush to buy back their positions. In other words, short sellers are covering their positions by buying at any available price. This buying pushes the market higher. But because positions are being closed, open interest falls. This phenomenon is called as short covering. Now let's reverse it. Price is falling and open interest is also falling. This means bullish traders are closing their long positions. This is known as long unwinding. In this scenario, the bulls, buyers, are exiting their positions, signaling a loss of confidence in the market. As a result, long positions are gradually being squared off, reducing the overall buying interest in the market. Now comes one of the biggest myths in options trading. You may have heard people say, highest put open interest means support and highest call open interest means resistance. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself why? Let's understand this with a simple story. Suppose Nifty is trading at 24,500 and the highest put open interest is at 24,000. The moment many traders see this, they immediately conclude 24,000 is a strong support. But wait, who created this open interest? Let's say 1 lakh put contracts exist at the 24,000 strike. For those 1 lakh contracts to exist, there must be 1 lakh put buyers and 1 lakh put sellers. Now think carefully. The put buyer is worried that the market may fall. That's why he bought the put. But the put seller believes the market may stay above 24,000. That's why he sold the put. So one side is bearish, the other side is bullish. Both are part of the same open interest number. Then how can open interest alone tell us that 24,000 is definitely a support level? It can't. And that's the myth. Open interest only tells us that a large number of contracts exist at a particular strike. It does not tell us whether buyers or sellers are right. It does not tell us who is controlling the market. And it certainly does not guarantee support or resistance. The same logic applies to call open interest. Suppose the highest call open interest is at 25,000. Many traders instantly call it resistance. But again, every call contract has a buyer and a seller. The call buyer expects the market to move higher. The call seller expects the market to remain below 25,000. Both are included in the open interest figure. So open interest itself does not magically create resistance. What professional traders actually focus on is not just open interest. They study price movement, change in open interest, fresh writing, unwinding activity, volume and overall market context. Because only then can they understand which side is becoming stronger. So the next time someone says highest put OI is support or highest call OI is resistance, remember this: open interest only tells you where positions exist. It does not tell you who will win the battle. And that single distinction can completely change the way you read an option chain. If this video helped you understand the subject better than any book or trading course, please like and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.